Hey guys, long time no see, how you doing? This is Kinghand.Lee, a mixing and mastering engineer. I have just returned from China not long ago. As I promised, let's talk about the new released Mixbus 10 and why this is my final review of Mixbus. Firstly, let's talk about two major upgrades of Mixbus 10. The first one is an EQ from SSL 9000 is included. You can switch between the SSL and Harrison EQ on the mixer. But since the algorithm of this EQ is from SSL, so the sound of this EQ is almost the same as the EQ that SSL released. Another major upgrade of Mixbus 10 is Dolby Atmos support. But I have to say that the Mixbus's support for Dolby Atmos is fragmentary. And this really pissed me off. You guys may want to ask me about the short video I released a week ago. In that video, I compared two mixes and asked you guys what you think about it. But we will talk about that later. Let's talk about the Dolby Atmos support of Mixbus first. To tell the truth, I was really looking forward to try Mixbus 10 after I heard that it will support Dolby Atmos mix. Because since long time ago, I like the sound of Mixbus. Although the lack of functions has always been criticized by users, but still you can't get the Mixbus's sound easily from other DAWs. So I was guessing Mixbus should be able to perform well when it's capable of Dolby Atmos mixing. But after I paid for the upgrade, I found some issues. Such as I can't find the LFE sound on any tracks. So I read the manual. According to the manual, they say, quote, in version 10.0, there will never be a signal in the sub-0.1 channel. This is intentional and no meter is provided for that signal in the Mixbus master. However, this does not mean that your subwoofer will not work. Surrounding monitoring systems often use a combination of smaller speakers and a subwoofer that work in tandem to create low-frequency sound. A feature called bass management takes care to send low-frequency sounds only to the speakers that can handle it, while redirecting those sounds to the subwoofer in cases where the speaker cannot handle it. This part of your speaker monitoring system is currently outside the scope of Mixbus. Quote over. Okay, but I have to say that's not true. Most Atmos studios don't use bass management. Instead of this, we use bigger speakers that can handle enough low frequency. Bass management is usually for home entertainment and can cause low-frequency phase issue. Even in my small studio, I use these small speakers, but the frequency response can still reach 30 Hz. Harrison says it's intentional, but I don't believe it. The real reason of Mixbus 10 doesn't have LFE sense is because it doesn't have a 7.1.2 bed. There's only LFE sense on those tracks that are assigned to bed based on Dolby Atmos standard. And also, it doesn't have object bed like Pro Tools or Cubase or some other DAWs do. We all know that Harrison's Mixbus is based on Ardour. Most of their functions are developed by Ardour, so I can't blame Harrison for all these. But could you guys not to explain it like you did this? If what you said is true, how should we people that don't use bass management to do an Atmos mix without an LFE channel? Have you ever thought about it? Do we have to turn on the bass management and tolerate the phase issue? By the way, for many of us, if we need to turn on the bass management function, we'll turn it on from the Dolby Atmos renderer software. But Mixbus 10 can't work with a standalone renderer. So do you mean that we should buy a new monitoring system in order to work with Mixbus? Another issue is I can't build any multi-channel track. Then it's not possible to build any 7.1.4 reverb track, or even a 7.1.2 reverb track. Can you imagine that I finish an Atmos mix without an Atmos reverb? Furthermore, modern music needs bus processing and mastering, no matter stereo or Atmos music. But without multi-channel buses, I can't do any of that. So the conclusion is, I can't do a full Atmos mix on Mixbus. If I have to do an Atmos mix on it because of its unique sound, I'll have to do the basic mix in Mixbus first and export it into Pro Tools to do the bus process and mastering. But this question leads me to the short video I released a week ago. I know that I don't have many viewers on YouTube, but I have more of them in China. So I published a vote there and get 68 votes in 2 days. Over 60% of them think that A is better than B. Actually, I was not trying to let you guys judge which is better, because I could predict that the result should be almost a tie. The answer of that comparison is A was mixed in Pro Tools and B was from Mixbus. But do you guys still remember how many of you were surprised when I released Mixbus 10 versus Pro Tools HDX last year? Some of you even doubted if I used different mixing methods to get a worse result from Pro Tools. But this time, after disappointed by Mixbus, I decided to do some research and find out why Mixbus naturally sounds better than Pro Tools. I did the research with an analog guy and tried to achieve the same workflow in Pro Tools, because the workflow is one of the key points that Harrison is proud of. And Harrison also said that the summing algorithm is another key to their unique sound. But finally, we found something that is not related to any of that. I know that should be Harrison's secret little trick. I'm not planning to reveal it here. But you all hear the result. Although A and B are not identical, but they are on the same level. You can't be sure which is definitely better. Only some minor differences. And those differences are from the operation mismatch of the 2x mixing. Well, since the first time I heard about Mixbus, there has been 12 years. I've been waiting for it to improve its function for all this time. Every time when Mixbus releases a new version, I pay for it to see how much improvement was made. I did this only because I thought Mixbus sounds better. But it turns out that's only some secret little trick. At least for me, I don't have to tolerate with the no delay compensation bus or only 12 buses that has poor amount of delay compensation. And I don't have to find out what to do to simplify my workflow only because I want to get some better sound. I don't have to export a track and then import it back just because there is no freezing function in the software. To tell the truth, what year is this? No freezing function? Limit my mixing idea just for the lack of your software function and tell me it's good for me? I'm done of this, and I'm done of being fooled. Are you? Finally, let's listen to the full mix of the song in my last video and see what I can achieve by knowing what Harrison's secret little trick is. Width, depth, punchiness, all these are not a problem with Pro Tools now. I can benefit from all these and also with Pro Tools' convenient operation and solid sound. Anyway, thank you Harrison for letting me know that this trick can improve my track. Thanks for watching and see you next time.